awfully loud. This is the Roots and Irrational Numbers quiz. I will be reading the quiz. You can follow along, pause this recording, and then when you're ready to do the next problem, you can hit play. The directions for questions 1 through 6 simplify each square root. There's a hint. Use factor trees if the calculator gives you a decimal. So that tells you to use your calculator first. Question 1 is square root of 64. Question 2 is square root of 8. Remember to pause the video between questions. Question 3 is square root of 18. Question 4 is square root of 54. Question 5 is square root of 40. Question 6 is square root of 72. And then when you're ready, turn the page. There are 3 questions on this page. For questions 7 through 9, you have 2 things to do. Circle if the value is rational or irrational, and then circle or check the reason why. So for number 7, square root of 9 is, so part A, you should determine if it's rational or irrational. And based on that, the reason, because first one, it is a decimal that does not repeat or terminate. Or it is a decimal that terminates. Or it is a decimal that repeats. Or it is the square root of a perfect square. Or it is the square root of a non-perfect square. And that is for square root of 9. For question number 8, the options are the same. One's actually missing. I'm sorry. Square root of 41 is rational or irrational because we're missing an option, but we don't need it anyway. It is a decimal that does not repeat or terminate. It is a decimal that terminates. Oops, there we go. It is a decimal that repeats. It is the square root of a perfect square, or it is the square root of a non-perfect square. Number 9, the number is 0.5, and that is rational or irrational because it is a decimal that does not repeat or terminate. It is a decimal that terminates. It is a decimal that repeats. It is the square root of a perfect square, or it is the square root of a non-perfect square. And then our last page. For questions 10 through 11, solve each equation. And for both of these, you are going to use the quadratic formula on the right. It is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. And question 10 is 2x squared minus 9x plus 4 equals 0. Question 11. 3x squared plus 4x minus 1 equals 0.